Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. This video we're going to talk about the top teams in Season 24 in the Open Great League. Next league rotation is going to be all Open Leagues. We made a Ultra League video in the past, which is last week. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the Open Great League. What is good, what you need to be aware of as a new Pokemons, and that's pretty much all we're going to talk about. So let's just take a quick look on this graph right here, or these Pokemons right here. All of these Pokemons are strong. The problem is not just all of these. So many good Pokemons you could use, but so which one are you going to be using? So let's just take a look at the PvP ranking. PvP says that number 1 is Corsola, number 2 is Credeli, followed by Gastro, Azu, Marowak, Dusclops, Stunfisk, Dusknoir, Marowak, again, Basti, Altaria, Dragonair. Dragonair is in the top 13, that's actually nice, and Dusknoir again. So these Pokemons are on paper good, but I don't see Credeli, and when I play GBL, there is Credeli everywhere. Also, there is another Pokemon that I always see, which is Fortress, and I don't see Fortress here, which means like PvP ranking is not accurate. Other Pokemons to be aware of is Galarian Moltres. Last time I played Great League, I played, I think, against 5 Moltreses in 5 battles. That's how popular this Pokemon is. And also Clodsire, no, well, not Clodsire, also Ferret, the furry Pokemon. It's actually going to be probably everywhere because this Pokemon is known for being the best safe swap. When you lose lead, you want to pivot out into something that doesn't get destroyed as well. You just go to Ferret. And also Jellicent has some sort of a play. So what are we gonna talk about? Well, first let's talk about the top performing teams. These teams perform the best among everything else. And you will see some dominant codes. And remember, I said, what is Credeli? Well, Credeli is actually among the best team in the Open Great League. And this is actually one of my favorite codes, which is Credeli with Dusknoir, Lubs. I think this is this guy. Dusclops. I think this is Dusclops, right? This is not the Hex. This is, oh, no. Oh my god, this is Dusknoir. I know the guy, but I always miss up the names. So why this team is good? Well, this team is, you have a hard-hitting Pokemon in the lead, you have a tank here, and you have a safe swap here. This is literally the team. If you lead into a Ferret, that's a difficult lead. If you lead into a Moltres, that's a difficult lead. So this is like the only 2 things that this thing struggle with. But to be honest, you can always pivot out into a Credeli and have some sort of a good play, because Credeli just doesn't have any technically bad match or horrible matchup. Yes, it has like some bad matchups, but no horrible matchups. This team is slightly tank, 2 tanks in the back. If you aren't into meta, I think the next team is a team you will like. So the team is Caesar, Greninja, and Corsola. So if you don't like Greninja, you could go with Moltres, you could go with Mandibuzz. But I think Mandibuzz might be slightly healthier for this team because, you know, like it's Caesar double tanks, and Greninja is not technically flexible when you safe swap it. So I don't know how, like, who came up with this team, but all I know is that having 2 squishy Pokemons is not the most user-friendly team you could have. So I would just switch this into a Moltres. If you use Moltres here, you can just lead the Moltres, have Caesar in the back, and then you just play out the lead no matter what it was. If you use Mandibuzz, you can have Mandibuzz as a safe swap. But this season, I'm enjoying Altaria, and these are like some Altaria teams that I would like to test out when Great League comes back. And Altaria, combined with Fortress, is actually a decent team. Now, as far as Fortress, you actually run Sand Tomb in the swap with Bug Bite and Rock Tomb. That's like what you run in the safe swap. In the lead, you could go for a Volt Switch, but I think Bug Bite is still the move of choice. And as a third, you could go with Kanto Marowak, or you could go with Gastro. I myself prefer Gastro as a third. When I use Marowak, I want to the Marowak in the lead. If I'm using a Mud Slapper in the back, I prefer Gastrodon. Now, in the past, I used to use Talonflame, double ground. I think if you want to use Talonflame, this is actually the best Talonflame team. You might be saying that it struggles into a Ferret. Well, technically, yes, but we have a Pokemon that destroys Ferret here, which is Credeli. Because Ferret will boost, Credeli will put him back with the Rock Tombs. And that's how it goes. Ferret into Talon is not like Talon still wins that matchup. It's just, you know, you have to fight with the Dusknoir. It's still a good team. It's just like, you know, a hard-hitting fast move on the leader and the swap. And usually with Talon, you always end up shielding. So that's not going to be something you will be comfortable with when you have a Shadow Dusknoir. Now, if you need like a noob-friendly, like a team that requires no skills, I recommend this team. It's Dugong, Altaria, Gastro. This team is built to design those like Marowak, and what's the other? Marowak, Basti, and the grass Pokemon. So you have Dugong on the Marowak, and if they swap the grass Pokemon, you have Altaria. If they swap the Basti, you have the Gastro. This team is literally made for that team because that team was so popular, and then like people were like, okay, let's just try to counter this team. And it sounds like a good team, to be honest, because you can, you know, like with Dugong, you can always debuff and switch like a switch when they are a switch lock, you can just debuff them to the moon. Another team, another Pokemon worth mentioning is actually Empoleon. I tried Empoleon. I don't think Shadow is good. Okay, so Shadow Empoleon, he is just a bait for those people who skip out throughout the video and they don't watch the battle. They don't watch the video. Shadow Empoleon is not good. You actually need to use a non-Shadow. Combined with Marowak and Wiggly. Wiggly is technically, you know, it's gonna do Wiggly stuff. And this team is built specifically to beat this team, which was at one point popular, which is Caesar, Gastro, and Regidrago. I don't know, I don't remember who came up with this team, but whether Caesar in the lead or Regidrago, Empoleon will feast on that. Another team, I tried actually this team in the Go Battle League, and I had lots of success with it. I struggled a bit into Ufisk, but there wasn't that many Ufisk in the lead. And then when I started seeing more Ufisk, I just took out Togekiss and put a Kotsula, and then it became way better of a team. The team itself is very, very good. Non-Shadow Empoleon. Altaria, by the way, Altaria beat Togekiss in the Zero if they don't have the Fairy move, and I've never seen anyone with a Fairy move. The next team is kind of similar. I actually tried this team too, and I liked it a lot. I think I went like 13-2 with this team. And the main MVP on this team, it was like Empoleon. Like whenever Empoleon wins the lead, you're just gonna win the game. If I lose the lead, I just go Altaria and 2-shield my Kanto Marowak because Empoleon is already losing the alignment and he's not going to be able to fight back. A Fearow team. So Fearow is like kind of like, you know, the new hot type Pokemons like that people want to have fun with because it has Peck, Drill Run, and Fly. Amazing charge moves, amazing movesets. And with Dugong Ufisk, it became like kind of like a... It covers Ufisk decently well. Like Ufisk lose to the grass, and this is an anti-grass. Both of those two lose to electric. This thing destroys the electric. So think of it that it's kind of like somewhat Ufisk plus two Pokemon that cover Ufisk. And usually when you use Ufisk in the lead, you don't shield it. Like that's the main thing. You play out the Zero. If you are a Giratina fan, I think Giratina with Gastrodon makes a great core. And the third could be something like the Stupid Mouse. Now, Tinkaton is not something that you will see frequently, but I don't know why. People just lost interest in using Tinkaton. I think it's because like it gets to a bad move every 5 instead of getting a good move in 5, which is like some other Pokemons are doing. But Tinkaton is still decent. This team was suggested to me by the Masked Asian, and he had actually great success with it. I think he hit like top 5 in the leaderboard with this team. Next one, the Wholesome team. It's still decent. I mean, you could switch this to any Ice type Pokemon and just play it like as an ABB type of team. If you see something that you need a ground type to beat, you just aggressively go Marowak and you play. Speaking of Basti teams, Shadow Annihilate, Steelix, and Basti, because Steelix is literally the most underrated Pokemon right now in the Great League. People don't respect Steelix enough, and people should be punished for not respecting that. It's actually a great team. Also, the Bohem, the regional winner, 2 times regional winner, he said that people still underestimate Shadow Ninetales, and it's actually so much fun. So I'm looking to try out this team. I might change the Annihilate. I'm not an Annihilate type of a player. I actually don't like using Annihilate. So overall, I will see and probably make a video about it. Some more teams, Credeli, you know, Jelly with Moltres is good. If you want to use Moltres, you can still use a Drapion with it. Annihilate still in love with a Jumpluff. And Blastoise, this is actually still a decent team. As far as Mandy, you could do Mandy, Caesar. Mandy and Caesar is actually a decent core. Ferret-wise, I think my favorite Ferret team is Caesar, Jelly, Ferret. Still like a decent team. Talonflame, Double Ground is a good team. As far as Lapras, you could do Lapras, Weezing, or Drapion. Lapras, Drapion, and Regidrago. This is actually still a good team. I saw it a couple times. And this guy is still relevant. Typhlosion. And the thing about Typhlosion is, like, you have to run 2 anti-ground. The anti-ground could be like Superior Lapras. It also could be this. Okay. Also could be a Ferret here. Like, whatever you prefer. Dusknoir, we talked about Dusknoir. Is there anything else we haven't mentioned? Dragonite. Dragonite, Tinkaton, Ferret is still the best Dragonite team. You could also go Dragonite, Blastoise, and Tinkaton. That's still a decent team. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about the Open Great League. Don't forget to like the video if you like the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.